So next we are going to see the generation station, and we are going to see the various equipment that we can find in the generation station. So in the generation station, the most important equipment that you will find is the generator. The generator is the equipment that actually produces the electrical power, okay, or the voltage that will be sent to other sections of the power system. So in the generation station, the principal activity that happens, or the principal function of the generation station, is to convert whatever form of energy to electrical energy. So what the generation station does, simply put, is the production of electrical energy. So in the generation station, we have one equipment that does that conversion for us, which is the generator. Okay, so that is the principal function of the generator. It converts energy from other forms to electrical energy. So what are the various forms of energy that could serve as input into the power system? We have chemical energy, the chemical energy that is contained in fuel, okay, either gas or diesel. It is converted by the mechanical part of your generator in the power station to rotating mechanical energy. So that rotating mechanical energy is what is sent to your alternator, which is this. And it is the alternator that will now convert that rotating mechanical energy into electrical energy. So we'll see later how the alternator does this. Okay. So in the generation stations too, we could also have other forms of energy as input. Like the solar power stations, what happens there is that the heat energy that is contained in the sun, okay, is converted directly into electrical energy by those solar panels that we have in the solar power plant. Then we also have other forms too that can convert the chemical energy that is contained in the fuel, convert it to steam, that is kinetic energy contained in fast-moving, superheated steam. Okay, so he does so by generating steam in a boiler, and that steam that is generated in a boiler will now be sent to your steam turbine. So the kinetic energy that is contained in that steam will now be converted to rotating mechanical energy in your steam turbines. So that rotating mechanical energy that is contained, that is produced in your steam turbine, is coupled to the alternator. So the alternator will now convert that rotating mechanical energy into electrical energy. So we also have diesel engine, fuel engine that uses, and even the gas engines that uses reciprocating engines. Okay, so in those engines, like the one you can see, they are reciprocating engine, whether gas, diesel, or petrol. Okay, so what it does is that the chemical energy that is contained in the fuel, okay, is converted by combustion in each of those cylinders, okay, and then the energy that is produced, the combustion product, will now be converted into the translational motion of your piston. And this translational motion is directly converted to rotating mechanical energy by the crankshaft in the engines, okay? So that rotating mechanical energy is what will now be coupled to your alternator and then converted to electrical energy at your alternator. So we also have the wind turbine that converts the kinetic energy that is contained in fast-moving wind, okay, into rotating mechanical energy and thus into electrical energy at the alternator also, okay, or by the alternator also. We have hydro power stations, okay. It still uses hydro turbines or turbines, but in this case, it converts the potential energy that is contained in dammed water into rotating mechanical energy, okay? So as the water is falling, it falls on the blade of the turbine and forces it to turn. So that mechanical energy is what will now be, rotating mechanical energy is what will now be converted to electrical energy at the alternator of your generator. Okay, so these are the various forms of energy conversion that takes place in the generation station. But we want to know that principally at the generation station, other forms of energy are converted into electrical energy. So what you have here now is a gas turbine, okay? So here is the compressor section and this is the turbine section. So what this does is that it compresses air, intake air, then that compressed air is sent into a section called the combustor, because we have three sections in this gas turbine. We have the compressor section, we have the combustion section or combustor, and then we have the turbine. So this compressed air is now sent to the combustor. At the combustor, fuel is injected, okay, or gas is injected, and then the mixture of fuel and compressed air is ignited in that very combustor, okay. So when after ignition, the high energy combustion product, okay, the high energy combustion product is now directed through what is called the transition piece onto the turbine blade in the turbine section. So the turbine blade, what it does is that it extracts the energy that is contained in this fast moving combustion product that is directed into it, into that is to rotating mechanical energy, okay? So as the shaft is rotating, that rotational energy is transmitted to your alternator once again, and the alternator does what? Does the conversion to electrical energy, okay? So these are some of the things that happen in the generation station so that you know. Now you have generated this energy, electrical energy. Obviously, that is not where you want to use that particular energy. You must do what? You must take it to where it will be used, okay? So that brings us to the second component, okay, that you will come across in your generation station. Agreed, this is the most important component, but it is not the only component that you will find in your generation station. So we also have the switch jars, okay? The switch jars, they are basically means of switching your power to the next section of your power system. So now what is generated at the generation from the generator will be sent to your switch jar. Then from your switch jar, it could now be sent to your transformers, your step-up transformers. After your step-up transformer in the switch yard, we also have other switch jars, okay? So the function of the switch jars, they are numerous, as we will see later. They do the switching for us, okay? They also help us to monitor the circuit. They do the protection of the circuit for us also. And they also help us to control whatever that is happening within the circuit if it is so configured. So you see that the work of the switch jar is enormous in our power plant, okay? But the switch jar is not only in this section of our power system that you find the switch jar. You also see it in your transmission section of your power system. You see it in your distribution section of your power system, even as far as to where you have your load, okay, either in your offices, in your homes, or in your plant, you have those switch jars there, okay? So you will see that the switch jar is also a very, very important piece of electrical equipment in your power system.